Greetings and salutations, YouTube. This is Fragments of Memory, your friendly neighborhood armchair philosopher. I got a question. Is interracial dating truly the answer to the black man's problems and the black woman's problems within the United States? Now, before I begin, I just want to point out that if you truly love someone, regardless of race, color, and or ethnicity, I say go, God bless, and be happy. Now, if you hook up with someone simply to escape the perceived shortcomings of your group, you don't love the other person that you're with. You see them as a life raft trying to escape from the so-called sinking ship and not your beloved. Many times love is not love. It is merely the other person running from trouble of their own making. This was said by one Paul Nathaniel Johnson. Now, when it comes to those people, they aren't really looking for love. They're looking for perks and benefits. They're looking for the quote unquote come up. We tend to see our mates, if we're on that type of level, as a means to an end and not actually a true partner, excuse me. Love for other races may be predicated on stereotypes and myths, i.e. the white woman is more submissive, or the white man is more established, or the Asian woman may be more sexually endowed, if you will. Ultimately, why should I care who you, sex, date, or marry, or live with unless I want you for myself? That means I'm in some way attracted to you and want you. And by you choosing a particular individual, it destroys the fantasies and illusions in my mind, and no one likes to see their fantasy shattered. This is very true in situations where attraction is concerned. She or he should be for me and not for you, is ultimately the message the feeling that we have. I have felt this way when it's come to women, for example, that might be part of a same-sex relationship, and the woman is a beautiful, attractive woman, and she's in a relationship with what you would call a stud, or the more manlier or masculine female. And I've looked askance and given the side eye, if you will, to that. And again, it is a form of rejection, and no one likes rejection, even when we acknowledge that it is a part of life. Now, as far as interracial dating goes, I subscribe to the view of wherever you go, there you are. There was a story I once came across about a riverboat captain, and he would ferry people between these two towns that were separated by a river. Now, one day, a guy gets on and says, I'm thinking of moving into the other town across the river. What are the people like in that town? And the riverboat captain answers simply, what are the people like in your town? And the man says, oh, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, they're mean, they're negative. I can't stand them. And the riverboat captain replies, the people in the town are just like that. The captain picks up another ferry later on. And the captain, again, has someone saying, yo, I'm thinking of moving to this other town. What's it like? How are the people there? And the captain asks him, well, what are the people like in your town? And the man says, oh, they're lovely people. They're great neighbors. They're less like neighbors and more like another part of the family. And then the captain responds with, that's exactly what the people in this town are going to be like. So the whole moral of the story is, wherever you go, there you are. Whatever attitudes, prejudices, hopes, fears, dreams, beliefs, baggage, whatever you have, you bring that with you. So when people say, what are you bringing to the table? Ultimately, you're bringing yourself and the journey you've made to the table. And my suggestion would be, before you get into any relationship, you've got to sort yourself out. You've got to have a mental and emotional stock taking, a time for reflection, a time for taking self-inventory. Now, there's a saying that's attributed to either Henry David Thoreau or Ralph Waldo Emerson, talking about how one should not bring ruins to ruins. I.e., people go travel looking for the ruins of ancient civilizations and to see these different locales. But ultimately, you're just bringing ruins to ruins. In this case, the individual having all his ruins and his baggage, and he's bringing it to this new place. And I see that with black people when it comes to interracial dating. I see that many of us, and many of the things espoused here on YouTube, if evidenced by the things here on YouTube, oh, get you another race person because these black men ain't shit. Excuse my French. And then over here you got these black women ain't shit. So get you where the white women at. And the reality is you're not coming from a place of, hey, I just want to find a genuinely good person. You're coming from a place of, I've had bad dealings with certain black women, or I've had bad dealings with certain black men, so now I've written off the entire group. So my thing would be, instead of searching for the lovely garden over the horizon, why don't you cultivate the grounds in your own backyard, and you can have your own lovely garden? We have too many people, both men and women in the black community, pointing fingers and blaming one another. Now, I spoke a little bit on this in a video called Blame Game into Oblivion, where everybody's just, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. It's your fault. And of course, nothing is done because neither side wants to concede that they had a hand in the mess up. So for me, interracial dating is not the answer. Not even close. Ultimately, only you can fix you. You can do various things to increase your odds of success in whatever endeavor you wish to pursue. But interracial dating is not your salvation and should never be viewed as such. Now, I once knew a woman who enjoyed international culture. She was into multicultural things. She spoke Japanese. She watched Japanese anime. She went to different international and multicultural festivals. She played violin. She took classical ballet of India, so she studied Indian ballet. And she was a black woman. Now, she often criticized the black community for lacking certain programs and structures that would benefit her as a black woman. And she was very critical of black men, from her own father to even me. She was critical of every single black man she encountered. But she always sang the praises of foreigners or immigrants, whether Hispanic, whether Asian, whether African, whatever. But she just had this thing where the American black man could do no right. Now, I found out through the grapevine, through people we mutually know, that she is currently married to a white man from another country and living in the other country. But before I go on, let me say this. I'm not criticizing you if you choose to date interracially, but do it for the right reasons. Do it because you like the person. Don't do it because you think you're fleeing Blackistan. Again, I have nothing against people who want to broaden their cultural horizons. I have nothing against anyone who wants to explore how the other people live in this world. That's a beautiful thing. Travel is good, but don't think it's going to fix your problems. Enrichment and gaining a sense of other people's cultures, is nothing wrong with it. I embrace it. But in embracing those other cultures, don't commence to throw other black people under the bus. Now, the YouTuber Sergeant Willie P., also you might know him as Infinite Wisdom or Black Diaspora, he spoke on the so-called black community having a polished turd culture. Let me get my words out. He explained it as since the black community has dealt with dysfunction and lack and struggle, we've glamorized it. We've made it the highest standard among black people. Like, if you don't have dysfunction, lack, or struggle, you're not really black. You cannot claim access to the black experience. And he referred to it as polishing a turd. At the end of the day, it may be polished, it may shine, it may sparkle, it may gleam. It's still a turd, and it stinks. It seems to me that in the minds of many black people, in order to escape the negativity of dysfunction, lack, and poverty and struggle, we must escape being black entirely. So we think black encompasses all of this, and this is the only thing blackness encompasses. So we try to divorce ourselves from it. We try to divest ourselves from it, so to speak. Now, and again, I'm no hate on you if you expand your dating horizons. I attack your motive for doing it. Because your expanding your horizons should never translate into you denigrating people who look like you and have the same skin as you. Now, in dating another group, all you may be doing is swapping one set of problems for another. Out of the frying pan and into the fire, so to speak. Again, you carry yourself with you. You carry your baggage with you. You don't have the luxury of saying, oh, I don't have any baggage. I'm baggage free and all of that. No, we all have baggage. And at the end of the day, you carry it with you. And in addition to carrying it with you, you may unleash it on some poor unsuspecting individual. Oh, wow. I've got an attacker over here. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. What do you guys think about that? Should interracial dating be seen as a solution for black men or black women to escape the woes of the dating in the black community? Tell me what you guys think. Video, commentary. Peace.